Good morning, everyone. So, do you have your coffee? I have mine too. I've only had one sip so far. I got this mug off of Amazon, and I know I really need to get another one because this one isn't aesthetically pleasing, same as my robe. But I swear this thing keeps coffee so freaking hot for so freaking long, and it will keep ice, this thing, for longer than a full day, like in the cup. I love this cup. I love this cup. And I love this robe, you know. These days, I'm not about aesthetically pleasing. I've had those moments in my youth, you know, when I was, what we would say back in the old day, bomb diggity. No doubt. But, not anymore. Shit, I just want to be comfortable and mind my business. You know, grow some tomatoes and kale and shit. Do what I can to serve my community and mind my business. That's it. I want to say before I get started, thank you to Tabitha Speaks Politics for sending a little love my way via the Cash App. And also to Jessica, who in the messaging said that she said, thank you for all that you do, and I love your videos. And I love it when people say that they love my videos because it just means more to me than y'all actually know. It really does. And then when y'all show me, you know, that love, I know I'm being impactful in some kind of a way. I just want to do my part to encourage people to think, you know, in ways that they might not would have thought about, you know, a particular thing or, you know, whatever, what have you. Yesterday was an eventful day. If you all saw my video, you know what I'm talking about. And I thought it was going to be difficult for me to sleep last night, but it wasn't. Actually, I slept just fine last night. I woke up a couple of times, but I woke up grateful that that child is safe. I don't even know what to say about that. His boldness. And mind you, it was getting a little dusk outside. It wasn't bright daylight hours, but it was, dusk was coming upon us. It's daylight savings time. We're going into winter, and so it gets darker quicker. Yesterday was the first day of daylight savings time. This man was so engrossed in this child that he didn't see us behind him for the longest time. My husband and I, we talked about it some when we got home, and then I got upset all over again. And he said, I'm sorry, I upset you again. And he probably felt like he just wanted to know if I needed to talk about it, because I'm one of those people that I need to talk about my feelings. When it comes to my feelings, when I'm having strong emotions, I need to talk through it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those people that go inside myself and keep it in. I got to get it out because it helps me heal and recover faster. But yesterday, I don't know, for some reason, I just really didn't want to talk about that. By the time we got home, I was literally fighting back tears, and I was shaking a little bit. I couldn't believe I saw that, like, with my own two eyes play out in front of my face like that. I've never seen anything like that in my life before. For the longest time, this man didn't even know we were behind him. That's how engrossed he was in this child, this little girl on a scooter. And then when he got to the stop sign, we at some point he noticed that we were watching him. And that still wasn't enough to deter him. My husband was paying more attention to him, but I was paying more attention to her because I took a class in body language when I was in college. And let me tell you, to this day, hands down, aside from the psychology, but to this day, hands down, that is the most useful class I've ever taken in my life. If you have the opportunity to take that class, take it. it will serve you all throughout your life. It'll give you, you'll learn when people's body language is shifting to a point where they want to convince you, they want to manipulate you, they want to trick you. The body language will give it all. I mean, even if they don't move the eyes, the way people have tails, and that class will teach you a lot about that. But nothing that girl, I was waiting for her to give me something, anything that indicated that she knew this guy, because she could have knew him. It was not uncommon for me when my kids were growing up to pull along one of them or both of them and their friends and talk to them, and catch them on another street and say, hey, you got to get home, put your bikes up because we got to go. It just wasn't an uncommon thing. So I wanted to see if she knew him, and she was giving me nothing to say she knew this man. And he's just smiling this big old nasty smile at this girl. And I could see all of her body language was indicating that she was not comfortable with him. And so that's why I stayed behind him. And then when he got to the stop sign, we didn't stop. When he went, we went. And then there was this white SUV that was coming in the opposite direction. He was driving a burgundy pickup truck. It was a white SUV. And she swung her scooter in the path of this white SUV. And my husband was like, oh my God, what is she doing? She was running. She took it as the opportunity to just run. I think I don't think she knew we were behind them for the longest time, because he was busy trying to be predatory, and she was busy trying to defend herself in the only way that she could. Neither one of them noticed us. Neither one of them. So when this car was coming the other way, she took that as her opportunity to veer off, and it's in the car. It didn't know what was going on. So it slams on its brakes. And when it did, she immediately swung her scooter around and just hightailed it out of there. And then when he got to the next corner, the first opportunity, he swung right. And I was going to mind my business and keep going. And I didn't get far at all. I only got a few feet before my car, just all by itself, swung in the driveway. The decision was already made. One of my ancestors spoke up and said, go see about that child. So I didn't go down the street he went down. I went down the next street. And as we're going down that street, because I'm trying to see if I can find him, I want to look for him to make sure that he doesn't find her. And when I'm going down the street, he's coming up the same street, and our cars do that. So I swing into another driveway and I get right behind him again. And at this point, we're chasing him, because he knows what he's done. He knows that he's caught. And so we start chasing. He does end up losing us. This girl, when we thought about it and we came home and we talked about it, there was a baseball game, because the street that he was on, it was Satchel Ford Road, right in front of Satchel Ford School. And it's the school, and then the school has a very nice park next to it. And then behind the park is a really nice community-sized baseball diamond. And so it's not unusual on the weekends to see games be played there. And I think she was with that group because half of her face was face painted, and one of those like little, I don't know, face painting things, like she had been at an event or something, because we were wondering why she was out there when it was getting dark and alone. And she probably just got separated from the group, wanted to ride her scooter, and then lo and behold, this man comes along. And it was just such a frightening thing to bear witness to, because I'm behind him. And when we realized what's going on, because my husband immediately is like, what's going on here? And, as we're realizing what we just stumbled upon, it was just, that was terrifying to watch. He was so bold. And everybody got cameras on their house now. He didn't care about the cameras. He didn't care about us being behind him. That's why I kept thinking maybe she knew him, because he didn't seem to care. But once he did see us watching us, watching him, he was watching us out of his rearview mirror to see if we were going to keep going, if we wanted to pass him, if we were going to mind our business, or really how we were going to play it. But that's how we chose to play it. In that video I mentioned, let's just get to it. In that video I mentioned another situation where I came across an even younger little white girl. I was in a movie theater. This was maybe about 5 years ago or so. I was in a movie theater, and a little girl, she was in the bathroom by herself, and there was another black lady in the bathroom. And this little girl clearly needed help. She was struggling. She really needed help. And the sister, she was a little older than me. She's asking the little girl questions. When she sees that this child needs help, she's asking questions. But just like my ancestor told me to go back yesterday and see about that child, my ancestor spoke to me in that moment too and said, nope, you stay out of this. I listen to my ancestors because they're always right. They never steer me wrong. Once I abandoned religion for African spirituality and I embraced my ancestors, they've never given me a wrong answer ever. The closer I get to them, the louder they come through for me. And that's what works for me. And whatever works for you is what works for you. But that is truly what works for me. And so I didn't appreciate the one white woman who said, whatever it was, whether it was your instincts or your ancestors. No, it wasn't whatever it was. I told you what it was. I told you that an ancestor spoke up. This is one of the reasons why I hate having conversations with white women. And I really don't appreciate when white people are in my space, because you all do not try to understand. A lot of you all think you're allies and you're not. That's the first thing I got to say. You're not the allies that you think you are. You know, so when I see that I'm listening emoji, when I say the way I roll my eyes every time I see that, because y'all don't listen. You don't listen. I literally said an ancestor spoke to me, and some white woman tried to make it something else when I told you what it was. You all do not listen to us when we speak. You do not value our traditions, our culture, our experiences. And that's why I just don't talk to most of you. Especially white women, because you all, more so than your white male counterparts, when it comes to black women and our experiences, you all are more likely to speak over us. And then there was another white woman. She spoke about her experience. And then at the very end, she said, I would have done it for any child. That's completely, I gave a little context about why black people would stop and think before we assist your children. You all act like you don't know that can go real left for black people because of your racism. Your racism is the thing that makes it dangerous for black people to help y'all out in situations where y'all might need our assistance. When me and that black lady, when I talked to her, I said, sister, something told me to warn her too. I said, you know, it don't always work out for us when we try to help them. She said, you know what? She thought about it and she said, you're right. Then she left out of the bathroom and I left out behind her, and we left that little girl in that bathroom struggling. Then her daddy comes up. He looks at both of us. He's immediately suspicious and angry and starts going for the whole racist shit. And black people, particularly black women, we got a way of speaking to each other without a word being said. I looked at her like, I told you so. And she looked at me like, good looking, sister. Because I just knew in that moment it was going to go left for us. It didn't matter what we do. It's damned if we do, damned if we don't. Y'all act like y'all don't know that Your lies and your accusations have not burned down black communities, had bombs set upon us, have not had black men lynched, black boys killed, black boys beaten to death, black boys drowned, black boys burned alive in a jail cell, black boys executed via the electric chair for just trying to help out a couple of white girls. Y'all act like y'all don't know that. And the way that it's like, because the end, it didn't matter what the woman said, that whole long paragraph she wrote, in the end, she was completely dismissive of black experiences. And I literally gave context as to why it is we don't have the privilege to help your children. Y'all act like y'all don't know that when you, and then it's like, oh, I would have done it for any child. Y'all act like y'all don't see all these incidences of our kids trying to enjoy the pool at their own apartment complexes and white women putting hands on them. Or our sons walking down their own streets and being harassed by a group of white men and Latino men who want white adjacency. Y'all act like y'all don't understand why we would be. There's this very famous episode of Blackish, and I didn't know that other black people, I never thought about other black people and how they responded to it. I just know how I respond to it because I'm an aware person. And there's this very famous episode of this show, Blackish, where two different black men see this little white girl in the elevator, and they're getting ready to go in the elevator. Dre's getting ready to go in the elevator, and he stops dead in his tracks. And then the other guy, I think it was Dion Cole, the other actor, and same thing. He sees a little white girl, and they both stop dead in their tracks. There is history that causes a reaction like that. History. Oftentimes, we try to help, and then it gets flipped up. It gets flipped on us. Again, because of your racism. One of my girlfriends told me this story about when she was in a Home Depot. Little white girl was lost. Little white girl asked her for help. She said, "You don't know where your parents are?" Apparently, she got separated. It happens. And she's got this little girl's hand, and she takes her. She's trying to help her look for her parents, or I forget, whatever. I think they did make it to somebody that worked there. And she's standing next to this little girl. And even though she's with someone, a worker, or talking to somebody, the parents still came up to her and accused her of trying to kidnap her child, made a big scene in the Home Depot. Police got called, and there it is. And y'all act like y'all don't know that y'all racism creates violent situations for black people where we can be met with violence. This is one of the reasons why I tell black people, mind your business. Put your capes, burn them capes, and mind your business. Because it typically don't work out for us when we try to lend support or help or try to extend kindness. And white women are in the comments constantly trying to tell me, "Oh, I've been warning black women." And mind you, I'm talking to black women, but white women, again, y'all can't help yourselves. Y'all always feel entitled to every space and every conversation. And I've been these last couple of days reminding black women about the danger. Don't go alone. Make sure, if you got your, you got your little pew-pew, make sure if you carry, make sure you carry, keep your head on a swivel. And white women just have to find their way into this conversation. "Oh, I wish I could just give you all a hug," or "Oh, I wish I could just keep everybody safe." And "Oh, where are y'all when we're being attacked in polling places? Where are y'all when we're standing in line minding our business and machetes are coming out? Where are y'all when we getting punched in the face by your white male counterparts? Let me tell you where y'all are. Oftentimes, y'all egging y'all male partners on. And if y'all not doing that, Y'all literally minding y'all business. Y'all stay out of it. Y'all don't come to our rescue. Y'all don't advocate for us. And you know what? Again, that's okay. That's okay if that's the way you want to play it. But what you can't be doing, what you can't do is talk over us and act like we don't know that that's what y'all do in the real life. The internet isn't real. What's real is these streets. The streets are what's real. We're getting attacked in these streets. And when we do, y'all mind y'all business. Y'all keep going. Y'all act like y'all don't see it happening. Y'all do the same thing when we're being attacked out in the streets that y'all do when y'all racist friends, co-workers, husbands, sons, mothers, co-workers start telling racist jokes, start being doing racist things. Y'all stay neutral. Y'all Switzerland all day long. And I wish y'all would stop talking over our experiences in these comments when we are talking about our collective experiences, because that shit is harmful. It is very harmful when black people say, well, this is what it is for us. And then y'all come back with, I would have helped any child. That's completely talking over our experiences, dismissing them. It's great that you have the privilege. That's a privilege. That's a privilege that black people don't have. We don't have that privilege. We have to think about it. Like one white woman who was honest in the comments and said, you know what, I never thought about it. I never thought about how you all have to think about that. Because we do. Again, because of your racism. It gets turned on us. Racism that you all think that you don't have inside you, but you do. Because you're not nearly as far along in your deconstruction of that shit as you think that you are. And so you show up and you're harmful. I would have helped any child in that situation. Good for you. Well, whether it was your ancestors, your intuition, or whatever, I told you what it was. What makes it not believable? I told you what the fuck it was. This is why when I have black community conversations with black people and when white people butt in, this is why I just start blocking y'all now. I just start blocking y'all because I don't even have the patience for it. I've said, if you follow me for a while, you know I don't like white people in those conversations. And this is exactly why. You show up, you talk over us, you center yourselves, and you eventually become harmful. When you try to play down our beliefs, our core values, and our experiences. And that's why I don't fuck with y'all like that. I hope maybe I gave a few of y'all something to think about. All of us, each of us can do better. A lot of y'all not actually listening. You just think that you are, and you're not. But to that one white woman that did, good on you. The rest of y'all have a good day. And I'll talk to you later. And if you would like to support my platform, I'll leave my Cash App and Venmo down in the comments. Have a good day. Seriously, have a good day. I know people are very anxious, about tomorrow, but try to do something today that brings you joy. And do your part and let it go.